what were your first few steps to get in the game with
Yeah.
no money?
Yeah. So pretty much what I understood was, not necessarily not needing, any money. Well, you could do, there are free ways in terms of like getting deals and stuff like that. But it was essentially about finding motivated sellers, right? And utilizing the different strategies to do so. So like one of the at that point, it was very popular to send out, direct mail. People still send direct mail, but not as much as they did back then. Right now, there's like SMS marketing and
So that's text messaging.
text message marketing, which is a lot more popular now, and ringless voicemail. But back then, those things weren't that popular. I was just researching all the different ways of marketing, how to find motivated sellers that'll give me these deep discounted properties, off market properties, and out of that mastermind group, I had asked a couple of them, did you guys want to start this wholesaling business with me? And formed an LLC, and we kind of would, we would, pretty much, we would take our money and we put in this pot, and we would put this money in and put it into marketing, and we put it into direct mail marketing, and then we started literally getting phone calls from these motivated sellers, and from there, we went through a lot of no's, but we started, locking up some houses, putting them under contract.
So before you go there,
Yeah,
I think it's important to understand when you say a lot of no's,
yeah,
how many no's on average before you get a deal?
a lot.
I mean, they need to hear that
Yeah.
because what's a lot? Give me a number on it, just an estimation. Just because a lot of people will start this and get discouraged.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they're hearing no so much, but they need to understand that your perseverance is why you had success. So you got to fight through the no's.
Yeah.
And I just want to dive into what number that may be.
Yeah, man. I mean, see, we would probably send out about, at that time it was about like 2,000, 3,000 postcards.
Wow.
But we would only get a fraction that would actually give us a call back. Right. And I mean, granted, I remember out of that like first batch, we only got like one house under contract, out of that batch of like 2,000.
Do you own any real estate?
No.
Got you. All right. So out of any of those deals, you never took a deal like, man, that's a good deal. I want to keep that.
And I will tell you this, there are a couple of deals that I regret not keeping.
Why?
Or at least I wish I would have did the flip myself.
Okay.
But at that point in time, I was so focused on, I got to make money. Because look, that beginning of the year, that's when I quit that's when we started the mastermind group. The beginning of 2013, I actually quit my job August of 2013. Right? And I quit before I even did a deal.
Wow. Can you go into that? Like,
so,
hey man, that's a little risky.
It very, right? So we started the wholesaling business around April, May 2013. That's when we got the LLC. But again, I was so like focused on becoming this entrepreneur that like, I was like, you know what? I don't know what's going to happen. I don't even know if this real estate thing's going to work. But I was like obsessed with becoming this full-time entrepreneur and no longer working at this job. So I had said to myself, I'm going to put myself in a position where I can't turn back. I got to burn the bridge. So I'm going to put my quit notice in for August 2nd, 2013. And whatever happens, just happens. Out of that situation, I felt so much dissatisfaction that I want to change. And I want to change really, really bad. And I had a good friend of mine refer a book to me called Success Principles by Jack Canfield. And I hated reading books, but I was so dissatisfied with just my life and just like, the money I was making or the lack thereof. I was very open-minded. See, when you're very dissatisfied, that's the most coachable you'll ever be. I'm going to tell you this. I felt really nervous. I was excited. Of course, I knew that I was going to do whatever it took. But here I was about to cut my guaranteed income, cut my 9 to 5 to go down this entrepreneurial journey. And it was a journey of uncertainty.
So what happened?
So I quit my job. And then I want to say the middle of September, I did my first deal. And it wasn't for nothing crazy. It was about $5,500. But what I will tell you is by that time, everybody that I had formed that real estate group with, they had all left.
Oh, wow.
They all left.
Why though?
So because, we were going through so many numbers, getting so many no's, prior to that deal that I closed in September, we had other houses under contract, turned out not being a good deal. We couldn't move it. And just out of just not seeing results, I guess, they wanted to kind of go on to other things, and understood,
Got you.
But for me, I had already quit my job and there was nothing that was going to stop me. I mean, in my mind, it was already going to be working. I don't know how, but I knew it had to work.
So what was the next step? You got your first deal.
First deal, 5,500. That gave me a little bit more wiggle room to breathe and have bills paid,
Right.
Because I no longer have this guaranteed check come in. But what that did was it gave me proof of concept. It raised my belief because it was like, man, this actually works. So it gave me the confidence to put more into marketing. It gave me the confidence to put more time and dedication into this craft. And it also gave me the understanding that, look, I can actually do deals like this, but I can get more. I can make more money and I can really become a full-time entrepreneur. Like, it's one thing, I already quit and technically I was a full-time entrepreneur, but like, okay, wow, this is actually tangible.
Owning it.
Yeah, I can actually really do this now.
Got you.
Right. So yeah, I was putting more money into marketing, closing more deals, becoming more confident and just really tapping in and really making it into a real business. I had a good friend that was in the Airbnb space, and I saw that they were making money, right? And even though they were making money, it didn't connect with me yet for whatever reason. So I had moved into a brand new apartment that I was really excited about, and after I had decked it out and furnished it, I invited a couple of my friends over, and one of my friends that had an Airbnb business, they came over, and as I'm giving them a grand tour of my place. She says to me, Kemoy, it's a really nice place. This would be a really cool place for an Airbnb. And I was like, okay. Didn't really think nothing of it. I already know you're in the Airbnb business. My mind's not tapped in, so I'm not even really like on that,
right. You don't see the big picture.
I don't really see the big picture, exactly. So about a week or two later, she ends up getting a property in that building for her Airbnb business. And again, this wasn't a property that she bought. It was a property that she rented.
How that made you feel then?
So at first it was like, okay. But then she shared with me the profits. Boom, this first month, I made well over $1,500. Boom, this month, close to $2,000. I was like, wait a minute now. Because in my mind, I was in wholesaling. I was in real estate. So I understood that, okay, you can make money off real estate. But in my mind, the only way to really make money off of property was to be, an owner, a landlord, and actually, getting tenants and being, creating residual income that way.
Right.
But I was doing my research and I saw that the average, positive cash flow for a rental property was about $300, $500.
Where can I find that?
So, I mean, Baltimore.
No. Where can I find those numbers?
Yeah. So it was somewhere online. Yeah. Now, I understood that, of course, in other places and even some parts of Baltimore, it could be much higher.
Right.
But this was just kind of like the average. And even like on Bigger Pockets, they were kind of out here, these on interview and stuff like that. Just me being like a newbie, just kind of listening.
Gotcha.
Right. So when I saw that my friend made that amount off a property that she didn't own, I was like, okay, I need to kind of be more aware. I need to open up my mind here. Right? Because here she just literally leased up a property right down the hall from me and she's making a great amount of income and she didn't have to have a lot of capital. And she's a friend, I'm really close with her. She's traveling around the world just like me. Her Airbnbs are making money while she's traveling around the world, right? So I was tapped into it. But then I just need to understand how to really automate and actually over a good course of time, I learned how to really automate the business, meaning though I didn't have to clean the properties. If anything were to get broken, I didn't have to fix anything. Create self-check-in systems so guests were able to check in on their own. And that was really exciting because I truly understood that, wow, I can have these properties generate passive income and I don't have to physically be present.
Gotcha.
And I can continue to travel the world while still making income.
How did you source your funding for your Airbnb business?
Yeah, so there's so many different creative ways, right? But me personally, I just use my credit card, bro. I'll literally run up all my furnishing costs on my credit card, and I'll take my profits and I'll pay it off. So that way, I get all those points, from utilizing my credit cards. You already know all the perks from utilizing credit cards, things like that. And these things help fund my travel, and I'll take the profits and I'll literally pay off my credit card. I'm really looking to getting something international. See, that excites me. That excites me. Getting a property in another country that I enjoy.
Where are you looking at?
So I got a couple places in mind, right? And this is just kind of just.
Hey, don't hold them to yourself. But what are you looking at?
I'm thinking about Tulum.
Okay.
Mexico. I'm thinking about Costa Rica.
Why those places? Central America then, huh?
So Tulum is hot, man. Tulum is hot. I don't know if you know this, but Tulum's about to get their own airport.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So the thing is, to get to Tulum now, you have to fly into Cancun.
And then drive.
Right?
Yeah.
But they're literally about to get their own airport. And because of, something like that, and because of the recent travel boom going on in Tulum, there's a lot of just growth going out there, a lot of opportunity. So it's almost like Miami overseas, man. I like it. So it's an idea. I'm talking to some realtors out there.
On average, what's your monthly revenue on those 12?
Yeah, so my 1 bedrooms, it can range anywhere from like $1,500 to $2,000, and my 2 bedroom can range anywhere from like $2,000 to like $2,500. Nice. Some months it could be a little bit higher, but nice. On average.
And we're talking
profit.
So net.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Got you. Now, did the pandemic affect you?
So when the pandemic first hit, I did get hit with a lot of cancellations, right? I'm not even gonna lie. See, the thing is, for me, I'm around, a lot of my properties were around convention centers, were around like baseball stadiums and things of that nature. When the pandemic hit, games got canceled.
Right.
Conferences got canceled. Graduations got canceled. Right. So I had lost a lot of those bookings because there were no reason for them to travel to that particular city where my property is located in. So that's what happened in the beginning. But what pretty much shifted was the type of clientele that I got. Right. And pretty much the type of clientele that I started getting were travel nurses and health professionals. So because of this huge health catastrophe, travel nurses, they were getting assignments around the country at all-time high. Right. And if you don't know what a travel nurse is, it's pretty much, a nurse, obviously, but they'll travel to places outside of their own home, other cities, other states, to work in those hospitals, and they'll literally work at those hospitals for 3 months, 6 months.
Long stays.
Yeah, long stays. And guess what? Guess what they're gonna need?
Airbnb.
They're gonna need a place to stay. Right. But Airbnbs are literally the perfect place, because here they are. They're gonna be staying someplace long term, and it's hotels are cool, and sometimes they do stay in hotels, but they really want a home away from home, right? They want something that makes them feel like they're at home in another city, So I got a lot of health professionals, and that pretty much helped me out a lot. But that also showed me that how much this industry is recession proof. You know what I'm saying? Because no matter what, whether people are traveling for fun, people are traveling for business, people are traveling because they need to see family, no matter what, there's always going to be a need for short-term rentals.
Gotcha.
Right? If you remember movies that were revolving around emergencies, state of emergencies, or the world just going crazy, right? You always had your emergency employees, or you always had those people that were the heroes that needed to go to another state, and they needed to work with the government or whatever. You know those movies or whatever. Yeah. They need a place to stay, right? And a lot of times, again, hotels are cool, but people are getting really comfortable and excited about staying in apartments or staying in condos or staying in houses, because it's they have more access. It feels like home.